we missed you last week, apologies for that, but this week we're all about breathing. So we did put a post on earlier this week to say why we're doing breathing as our topic this week. And really it's just because we're seeing so many people coming into the clinic with like physical conditions, so pain, headaches, jaw pain, T&J issues, back pain, migraines, and it's related to how they're breathing. Yeah. And we've noticed a lot that, you know, ourselves, we're breathing completely differently now with everything that's going on. So social distancing and masks have changed how we breathe.
How we're holding ourselves.
So how we're holding ourselves. So from the social distancing sort of aspect, you know, when we are, well, even here now, you know, you're always aware of being 2 meters apart. So whether you're
not as relaxed either, are you? You're more upright. I find you're more upright when we're all distancing. I'm kind of, okay, are we far enough? You know?
So even going outdoors, so when you're walking outdoors, you're walking on these walking paths, you're more uptight.
Yeah.
You know, in work, you're trying to stick to all these rules. And so the only place really that you can truly relax is at home. As soon as you leave the house, you've got your mask on.
You're not being natural at all, you. And I think that's it. You're not, that was perfect. You're not being natural.
No.
You're always thinking before you act. You're thinking, oh, should I do this? Should I not?
It's just that on alert. And we talked about, you know, a couple of weeks ago about the effects of stress. Stress on our body, what stress does to our body, what physical ailments you can get through that.
So many.
And how, you know, detrimental it is for us. So we wanted to tap into breathing and make sure that if you've got tools to know how to breathe properly, then you can change how you breathe and you can start to feel better and you can actually reduce some of this muscle tension that's built up. So we were chatting just before we came on about sort of the little things that we're doing, which made us laugh really, because we're both doing exactly the same thing. So when we go for a walk, obviously you have that, to me, to you, you're dodging people as you're going up and down the path, aren't you? And then you get that nightmare experience where you have two people or groups of people who are chatting, and they're chatting either side of the path. So instead of going on the same side of the path, 2 meters apart, they decide to go opposite sides. So you're either walking or running or on your bike, and you're thinking, right, the only way I can do this now is through the middle. Now I know that's not 2 meters, but I've got no other way but through the middle. So as you go down, you're running along, and then you hold your breath.
I've done it so many times.
Like you do it when you go through the tunnel, when you're in the car as a child, you know, you get everybody in the car to hold their breath. Come on, we're going through the tunnel. So you walk and then you go,
Totally. I've done it so many times.
We're both doing the same thing, which is so funny. So I'm thinking, what are the things that other people are doing out there?
I guarantee they're all doing that.
I bet you're all doing that. But even, you know, wearing masks, we're not breathing properly with these masks.
No, we're not.
They feel claustrophobic, and then, you know, if you wear glasses, they're steaming all your glasses up.
Oh, that is an absolute nightmare. I just started wearing glasses, just for the computer, thank goodness. But then every time somebody walks in my office, I have to quickly put my mask on, and then I can't see anything. And I don't even have to wear them all the time. So you see all these people in supermarkets with steamed. I just feel really bad.
So you can't breathe properly.
No, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not. But so we thought, you know what? Let's give you some tips on how to breathe. So when you get back to your car, you've done your shopping, you get back to your car, you take that mask off, you de-steam your glasses, and then we just want you to be able to breathe properly.
A couple of techniques.
Yeah, a couple of little techniques. So we tend to, with our masks, we tend to breathe with our mouths rather than our nose, and we're not supposed to breathe with our mouths. It's supposed to come in and out through our nose and our nasal passages. And also we tend to breathe a lot through our mouths when we're talking a lot as well. So if we're on telephone calls or Zoom meetings and we've been chatting a lot, you know, teachers that are teaching over Zoom and everything, if you're talking a lot, you'll all be using that sort of
I wonder how many people know that you're meant to just breathe through your nose, because
probably not a lot.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Because they, you know, from even old films and things, in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose. Just that is in my head, not nose in and out. So, you know.
The point of mouth breathing is obviously when you reach exertion. So when you're exercising, when you're running, or you know you need more air in, then you've got another way to fill it up quickly.
Yeah.
But when you're just day to day, we should be breathing in and out through our nose. Okay. So the most important thing is that you're slowing your breath down, because when we breathe through our mouths, we're breathing really quickly as well. Okay, and we're also breathing from the upper respiratory. So really, you want to be breathing from your diaphragm. The diaphragm is a muscle that sits at the bottom of your rib cage here, and that diaphragm goes up and down and helps to expel the air. Now the problem is, if you don't breathe from your diaphragm and you start to breathe from your upper respiratory muscles, so all like your upper traps and your scalenes, so all these muscles here, what they will do, if I go to the side, they will elevate your rib cage. So as your rib cage comes up, so you're breathing from the upper part of your lungs here, you're arching your back, so all of a sudden you're tensing your back muscles. So your back muscles go tight, so you're changing your posture, so hence you can get back pain. You're creating tension in all these neck muscles here, so then you can get neck pain, neck and shoulder pain.
We've seen a lot of that.
That can then refer up to the head, so people can have headaches. The other thing that can happen, if this is tense, you might be clenching your jaw as well and have some tension around your jaw, particularly if you are feeling stressed or a little bit on edge, which can lead to TMJ
you kind
issues.
of do, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we want to relax this. We want to get the shoulders away from the ears, relax all that part of your body, and actually start, you know, using your diaphragm. It's a muscle, and you know, if you don't use it, you know, it will kind of, you won't activate it properly, and you'll have these poor patterns of breathing. Same that you can have poor patterns of, you know, shoulder movement or knee movement. It's the same with that. You know, having that rib cage expansion and making sure you're opening up your ribs from, you know, the lower part, not just using the upper part.
Well, I suppose that's become habit. So now we need to change the habit.
Yes, just changing the habit.
So that it becomes natural to breathe in that way, not this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I think it's important for people to do is, because we're more and more on edge, wearing masks, things like that, if your breathing pattern has changed, you know, just recognising that and recognising, right, once I whip that mask off, I'll do some of these, so I'll reset it.
Okay.
So I can't, it's difficult for me to breathe through my nose when I've got this mask on,
but then
when I take it off, I reset my breathing. Okay?
Okay.
So what you're going to do, you're just going to get yourself relaxed, sitting in a chair. So hopefully you guys will do some of this as well. And I want you to breathe in and out through your nose. And I want you to breathe in for 3, and I want you to breathe out for 5. So you're making that exhale slightly longer than the inhale. So when you do this, I don't want to hear noise, okay? So you don't want to be sort of forcing it. It should be nice and gentle, in and out through your nose, almost like you're breathing out through a straw as well. Okay, so it's nice and quiet as you can, in and out. So once you've got the hang of that, you're breathing in for 3 and breathing out for 5. Then maybe the next time you can try and take that a little bit longer. So try and take it to 6. And the aim is that you're really getting all the air out and you're focusing on squeezing out.
Doing it from here.
So you can feel, as you expel the air using your diaphragm, you should feel this tension come in through your tummy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you should feel like a squeeze in your tummy as you do that. Okay. So once you've got the hang of that, this time I want you to breathe in for 3, and then you're going to breathe out for about 6. So nice, long and slow, and then you're going to pause it. So I just want you to pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then inhale again. And then with that inhale, once you've had that pause, you don't want to kind of gasp it in. So you don't want to be...
Yeah, I did a little bit then.
Okay?
Yeah, not too much, but...
So as you practice it, what you'll find is that you'll be able to exhale for longer and you'll be able to pause for longer. Initially, this might be difficult for people, so they may only be able to breathe out for 4 and maybe hold it for 1 second. But that's fine. If that's all you can manage initially, that's fine. But the aim is that you get that exhale longer and longer, and you're able to get that pause longer and longer. And the more you do it, the more you engage that diaphragm. And can you feel it there, Trace?
Yeah.
You can feel all that working.
So I breathe into my chest a lot, but I have been doing a little bit of this, just practicing myself. When I walk, actually, I'm doing it. So I've started to retrain to breathe from there.
From the diaphragm.
But it's such a difference.
Yeah.
And you also feel like you've got more breath.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like because sometimes when it's up here, they kind of shallow and you're a little bit panicky.
Yeah.
And just breathing from there feels like I've got much more capacity.
Well, you mentioned a really good point there, because what we do with our physiology makes us feel a different way. So they both go hand in hand.
Okay.
So when you feel panicky or a bit stressed, your breathing is quicker. Okay?
Yeah.
So they go hand in hand. But equally, if you start breathing quicker, it brings on feelings of anxiety and stress as well. They're both interlinked.
Ah, okay. So then the opposite could be said for the breathing slower.
Yeah, so as you breathe slower, it'll bring this sort of calming, more relaxed effect. You should feel, a little bit more calm, a little bit more relaxed.
Feel your shoulders dropping as well.
Dropping.
Just naturally. I didn't even have to drop my shoulders, just feel them dropping.
Yeah.
So then we should all kind of be resetting this as often as we could, as often as we can in a day.
So being aware of, right, if I've worn my mask, I'm going to just do 3 rounds of this. I'm going to sit in the car and do 3 rounds of nasal breathing, focusing on that exhale, that little bit of a pause, and then carry on, then start the car and go off by your day. If I've been on a Zoom call and I've been talking a lot, I'll reset it then. If I've been out for a walk and it hasn't been particularly relaxing because, it's been more like the N4 rather than, and you're dodging people, and you get back and you're a bit,
then just
or even
reset
children and homeschooling and you're,
I was going to say, people are probably more stressed about
go upstairs and just do 3 breaths on your own in, your own space, somewhere calm, somewhere quiet.
Well, I suppose as well, for me, that comes hand in hand with kind of the mindfulness thing that I'm trying to do, because it does do that.
Of course it does.
It'll get you to focus on your breath, which brings it back to
So that is a little technique that you can use and you can tap into. But then also, like you were saying, trying to breathe through your nose naturally anyway. So when you catch yourself, if you breathe through your mouth,
I always used
catch
to
yourself and breathe through your nose, you should be able to not only walk but run.
That's
like
tricky.
jogging, when you sort of jog in at that aerobic pace, not when you go in, harder now, but when you jog, you should be able to run as well, breathing through your nose. It's really hard.
I've been practicing it.
If you can practice
on the hills,
that,
I can't do it, but I've managed to get a little bit of the way around now, just using my nose.
So I think the other thing I want to say as well is when you breathe in and out through your nose, because we're trying to relax everything, just make sure that you're not clenching in your jaw as well. So the best way to not clench here is just to have the tongue resting on a sort of where the teeth and the roof of your mouth meet, so that sort of edge there. Rest your tongue there. Don't force it into it, but just rest it there, and that will just relax your jaw. So you can still keep your mouth closed. You don't have to have your mouth open, but it stops you from clenching, because you'd be surprised the amount of people that either go around the day clenching their teeth, or maybe clenching their hands, or keep holding tension somewhere. So by being aware of that, being aware of, right, let go of my hands, let go of any tension in my stomach, relax my jaw.
The jaw,
relax your back.
The jaw's a good one because it's something you don't naturally think of. So I could just feel that when I put my tongue there.
And the other thing to say, I mentioned about your back here being too tight, okay? You can have the reverse effect. So as much as your breathing, upper respiratory breathing, can cause tension in your back, you can also hold your back tense and affect your breathing because you're trying to sit well, like posturally. I've had a lot of clients who are really upright and they're sitting like that because they're trying to have good posture. And what's actually happened is they're clenching their back muscles to keep them upright, and they're sticking their chest out. So the diaphragm can't work properly. So the diaphragm has to, you have to use your upper respiratory because your diaphragm can't engage because you're arching your back. So this, it goes both ways.
You need to be in that neutral position.
So when you're here, just let go, just relax.
Yeah, you don't have to slouch
So
it.
a nice one is just sigh and slump. So a nice one is just to breathe in, and as you do a sigh, you just let go.
Yeah.
So rather than holding yourself stiff, you just let go. Okay. So don't worry too much about, oh my God, but my posture needs to be like this. What you need to be more than anything is actually relaxing those muscles. So not talking about being, you know, slouched and slumped over.
Yeah.
So you're still sat on your sit bones and you're in a good position, but you're just letting go. Because how we hold ourselves will have an effect on our breathing as well. Okay, so I'm kind of hoping all of these
good tips.
Good tips have been useful for you today, and maybe you can take them on. But if any of you need any extra advice or support, if you're struggling with anything I've done or you want some more tips, then please get in touch and I can go through those with you. But hopefully that has been of benefit today. And enjoy the sunshine this weekend. It is like spring has arrived.
Check the weather.
The sun is out, the daffs are out, and doesn't that make us all feel a lot better?
It does. Daft is my fave.
So fabulous. So we will catch up with you next week.
See you next week.
Bye guys.
Bye. Bye guys.